Question for you that probably could have been asked almost any week during this whole campaign season, but so the Donald Trump, the latest comments on barring Muslims from the, do you think that might hurt his campaign, or do you think?
Here's the thing about Donald Trump is that he's said a lot of things that people in Washington and people who follow politics would say, well, this is it. This is the end. And it hasn't been. And I think that, the way he says things is obviously different than a traditional politician. But he has a loyal following. So I'm not sure that this is going to affect him in the short term. In the long term, if he got the nomination, I think there's a potential to be a problem down the road.
Sure, but right now it's like something you've never seen before, I can imagine, just with the loyal following.
Listen, it's a phenomenon that we have not seen in politics.
Sure.
And he's tapped into a lot of anger about both sides of the aisle. He's tapped into frustration with Washington and how it works or doesn't work. And so if he's not the nominee will have to tap into that as well.
Sure. And in all your travels, have you? What's the biggest concern you've seen, just kind of from Americans, from people coming up to you, talking to you?
Just in recent weeks, it's shifted. Sure. Obviously, it's more about security and threats.
I imagine.
Our new Fox News poll has terrorism as the #1 issue on people's minds, and usually it's the economy. So I think this will affect the election a lot. And talking to intel people in Washington, there's a real concern about possible other attacks.
Sure. And I know too. We got a big Catholic population down here. I know you helped out at Ave Maria and in the Law School. And just wondering, as being Catholic, has that affected your reporting at all? Has it helped shaped kind of the way you do it?
Yeah. Listen, I my faith is important to me.
Sure.
And I've been through with my family some things that I needed to rely on faith. My son had 3 open heart surgeries.
Wow.
And he's 8 years old and he's doing great, but it's a big part of my life. So to say it doesn't bleed into my reporting is probably not accurate. But we try to do it in a fair and balanced way.
Absolutely. And last question here. I think you live part-time down here, right?
I do. I have a place down here. My family does.
Great.
And my mom lives full-time down here. She's with American Cancer Society. And my in-laws have a place, so it's kind of one-stop shopping.
Very cool. So awesome. So aside from the daily newspaper, I guess any favorite parts of Naples? Anything that really attracts you?
I like to just unplug at the beach, and we come down here and we hang out with the kids. I have an 8 and a 5-year-old, and we run them like dogs on the beach and get them tired.
Awesome.
And I like playing golf.
Awesome.
Some great golf down here.
Awesome. Thank you so much for your time.
Could I ask one more question?
Yeah, sure.
Do you think Trump's rhetoric is a product of 21st century social media? Or do you
That's a great question. I think, social media has changed the dynamic tremendously, and people feel much more engaged. But he's tapped into this anger that in part is expressing itself on social media. So we'll see how it transpires.
Do you think he truly believes what he feels and the way he's saying it, or do you think he's saying it out of strategy?
Knowing him, I think he's saying what he thinks. He's not too big into political correctness, and I think that is attractive to a lot of people. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.